Hello there, dear listener, welcome. Tonight we journey together into the distant past, into the world of the samurai, a world of quiet discipline, honor, and still reflection, a world designed to gently ease your mind and guide you toward restful sleep. So settle in, close your eyes if you wish, and let the soft imagery of ancient Japan wash over you, like ripples on a still pond. Let's begin. Imagine yourself standing on a misty hillside, the scent of pine and the cool air filling your lungs. Before you, a small village awakens in the early morning light. It is the Heian period, around the 10th century. During this era, Japan was ruled by an imperial court centered in Kyoto, and the early samurai emerged as armed retainers of wealthy landowners known as daimyo. These warriors were tasked with protecting vast estates and maintaining order in a period when central authority was weakening. At first, the samurai were not the elite warriors we often imagine. Their armor was rudimentary, crafted from leather and iron, and their primary weapons were the bow and arrow, as well as simple swords. Yet even in these early days, there was something distinct about these warriors. A quiet dedication, a strict code of conduct that began to form, setting them apart from mere soldiers. Their early battles were often small skirmishes over territory, fought in a decentralized landscape where powerful clans sought to expand their influence. Now the scene shifts. We move forward in time to the Kamakura period, 1185–1333. A pivotal era when the samurai solidified their role as Japan's ruling class. This period began after the Minamoto clan's victory in the Genpei War, leading to the establishment of the Kamakura shogunate, the first military government in Japan. With this, the samurai became the de facto rulers, guided by their evolving code, Bushido, or the way of the warrior. Bushido emphasized principles of loyalty, honor, and discipline. A samurai's life was one of service to his lord, even unto death. To die in battle or by ritual suicide, seppuku, was considered the ultimate act of loyalty and honor. The ritual of seppuku, often misunderstood in modern times, was a highly formalized practice. A samurai would prepare himself mentally and spiritually, often writing a final poem before performing the act, ensuring that even in death, his honor remained intact. During the Muromachi period, 1336–1573, Japan underwent significant cultural and political changes. This era saw the rise of the Ashikaga shogunate and the flourishing of Japanese art, literature, and philosophy. Zen Buddhism became deeply intertwined with samurai life, influencing everything from their military tactics to their artistic pursuits. The meditative practice of zazen helped samurai cultivate inner peace and focus, qualities essential on the battlefield. Beyond warfare, the samurai played a key role in shaping Japanese cultural identity. The tea ceremony, or chanoyu, became a refined ritual that symbolized harmony, respect, purity, and tranquility. Samurai often practiced this art under the guidance of tea masters, creating a serene space where politics and social tensions could be set aside. Samurai life was deeply influenced by Confucian values, which emphasized respect for hierarchy, family, and societal roles. At the heart of samurai ethics was a profound sense of duty, not only to their lord, but also to their family and community. This loyalty extended beyond personal relationships and became a guiding principle in all aspects of life. While Bushido is often associated with martial valor, it equally stressed the importance of benevolence, righteousness, and proper conduct. In addition to their martial responsibilities, samurai took great pride in their appearance and grooming. It was common for a samurai to begin each day by donning a carefully maintained set of clothing, reflecting both personal discipline and societal expectations. Their robes, known as kimono, were often adorned with family crests, signifying their lineage and status. Attention to detail was seen as a reflection of inner order, and this meticulous approach carried over into every facet of their lives. An often overlooked aspect of samurai culture was their connection to nature. Influenced by Shinto beliefs and later Zen Buddhist thought, samurai found meaning in the natural world. Gardens were designed to embody harmony and balance, providing a space for meditation and quiet contemplation. Strolling through these carefully curated landscapes offered moments of clarity and insight, a necessary counterbalance to the chaos of battle. Another key element of samurai life was their study of kendo, the way of the sword. Practiced not just as a physical discipline but as a spiritual one, kendo emphasized the unity of mind, body, and sword. In the dojo or training hall, samurai honed their skills through repetitive drills and sparring sessions, aiming to perfect their technique and cultivate a sense of inner calm even in the heat of combat. Artistic pursuits were also a significant part of samurai culture. Calligraphy, or shodo, was highly esteemed as a means of expressing one's inner state. The flow of ink across paper was seen as a reflection of the practitioner's mind, with each stroke requiring precision, fluidity, and presence. Painting, particularly ink wash art known as sumi-e, was another popular pastime. These minimalist works often depicted landscapes, animals, and scenes from nature, embodying the Zen aesthetic of simplicity and impermanence. Despite their warrior identity, samurai were also patrons of the performing arts. No theater, characterized by its slow, deliberate movements and stylized masks, was frequently performed at samurai courts. These plays often drew on themes of honor, sacrifice, and the transient nature of life, resonating deeply with the samurai ethos. Socially, samurai occupied the upper tiers of the feudal hierarchy, just below the ruling daimyo. Beneath them were farmers, artisans, and merchants. While samurai held privileges, they were also bound by strict codes of behavior. In return for their service, they were granted stipends and land, which they managed on behalf of their lords. This system created a delicate balance of power and responsibility, ensuring that samurai remained both leaders and servants of society. As the sun set on the battlefield, samurai often gathered around the hearth, recounting stories of past battles and heroes. These tales served not only as entertainment, but also as lessons in courage, strategy, and honor. Storytelling was a revered tradition, passing down the values and history of the samurai from one generation to the next. The famous tea master Sen no Rikyu, who served several powerful daimyo, developed many of the traditions still followed today. Samurai poetry, known as waka or haiku, was another significant cultural contribution. These short, evocative forms of verse often captured the beauty of nature, the fleetingness of life, and the profound solitude of the warrior's existence. A samurai might compose a poem before entering battle, contemplating the delicate balance between life and death. Picture a young samurai rising with the dawn. He steps out into the courtyard of a wooden castle, the air crisp and silent. His armor gleams faintly in the morning light, a masterpiece of design crafted to protect without sacrificing mobility. Each piece of his armor has been carefully forged by skilled hands. The kabuto, his helmet with its intricate crest, the do or cuirass, protecting his torso, and the kote, armored sleeves covering his arms. Samurai armor, or yoroi, evolved over centuries to provide both protection and flexibility. The kusazuri, a skirt-like set of armored plates, allowed freedom of movement, while the sunite, or shin guards, protected the lower legs. The haidate, thigh guards, and menpo, a face mask, gave the samurai an imposing and intimidating appearance in battle. Beyond physical protection, Armor held symbolic significance. Often adorned with family crests, it represented the wearer's lineage and loyalty. As time went on, lighter and more form-fitting armor, such as Tosei Gusoku, became common, reflecting the changing nature of warfare. In his hand, he holds a katana, the soul of the samurai. This weapon is more than a tool for combat. It is a symbol of his identity. The katana, with its curved, slender blade, was forged using a unique process that involved folding and hammering steel to create a weapon of unmatched sharpness and flexibility. Revered by the samurai, the katana became a central element of their martial practice and spiritual life. Alongside the katana, samurai also carried the shorter wakizashi, forming a pair known as daisho, symbolizing their social status. The wakizashi had both practical and ceremonial uses. It was kept close at hand even indoors, and used in ritual acts such as seppuku. The longbow, or yumi, was another key weapon, used primarily in earlier periods. Its asymmetrical design, with a longer upper section, allowed it to be wielded effectively on horseback. This unique construction gave samurai archers an advantage in mounted warfare, enabling them to fire accurately while riding. The polearm, or naginata, was favored by both male and female warriors for its reach and versatility in combat. The naginata was particularly effective against cavalry, allowing foot soldiers to unseat mounted opponents. Later, firearms introduced by European traders in the 16th century were adopted, changing the dynamics of warfare. The samurai initially resisted these new weapons, considering them less honorable than the sword and bow. However, as battles became larger and more complex, firearms became a necessary tool of war. Daimyo, such as Oda Nobunaga, embraced the use of muskets, training specialized units to deliver devastating volleys that could turn the tide of battle. Samurai warfare was defined not only by their skill with weapons, but also by their strategic acumen. Battles often began with the exchange of arrows and a declaration of intent, followed by carefully coordinated charges. Samurai placed great importance on individual combat, where warriors could demonstrate their prowess and uphold their honor. Commanders would sometimes arrange duels between champions of opposing sides to decide the outcome of a skirmish, reinforcing the samurai's preference for face-to-face confrontation. The Sengoku period, 1467–1600, also known as the Warring States period, was one of the most turbulent eras in Japanese history. Clans vied for power, alliances were forged and broken, and samurai found themselves in near-constant battle. This period saw the rise of legendary daimyo, such as Takeda Shingen, Uesugi Kenshin, and Tokugawa Ieyasu. Castles became more fortified, and siege warfare became a common tactic. Samurai leadership and adaptability during this chaotic time would lay the groundwork for the eventual unification of Japan. The life of a samurai extended far beyond the battlefield. Education played a vital role in their upbringing. Young samurai were trained not only in martial skills, but also in literacy, mathematics, and Confucian philosophy. This well-rounded education was crucial, as many samurai held administrative positions, managing lands and overseeing legal matters. Unlike the clandestine tactics associated with ninjas or mercenary ronin, samurai preferred direct confrontation. They upheld a code that valued honor in battle, often engaging enemies face-to-face in open combat. Ambushes and subterfuge were considered dishonorable, tactics reserved for those outside the samurai class. This distinction further reinforced the samurai's image as noble warriors. Between battles, life for a samurai was one of quiet introspection and rigorous discipline. Training in martial arts was balanced with cultural pursuits, such as calligraphy, poetry, and the meditative art of the tea ceremony. The samurai often practiced zazen, a form of seated meditation rooted in Zen Buddhism. This practice helped them cultivate mindfulness and maintain a calm demeanor in the face of life and death situations. The samurai's connection to the land and its people was also significant. Many samurai oversaw the management of agricultural estates and were responsible for ensuring the welfare of those who worked the land. This role extended their influence beyond the battlefield, making them not just warriors but also stewards of society. During peaceful periods, samurai often became involved in local governance. They acted as magistrates, mediators in disputes, and enforcers of local laws. This dual role, as both warriors and administrators, strengthened their position in feudal Japan, turning them into a multifaceted class of leaders. It was this blend of martial prowess and intellectual pursuit that helped shape the samurai's unique identity. And now, imagine standing atop the walls of a samurai castle, overlooking the vast countryside. In the distance you see fields of rice, carefully tended by farmers. The castle itself is a marvel of architecture, with its thick wooden gates, stone foundations, and elegant curved roofs designed to deflect arrows. Castles were not only military fortresses, but also centers of governance and culture. These strongholds, built strategically across Japan, were symbols of a daimyo's power. They served not only as a warrior's home, but also as a community center where festivals, markets, and gatherings took place. Within the castle walls, samurai families lived, trained, and governed their territories, creating a microcosm of feudal Japanese society. The samurai's connection to the land and its people was also significant. Many samurai oversaw the management of agricultural estates and were responsible for ensuring the welfare of those who worked the land. This role extended their influence beyond the battlefield, making them not just warriors but also stewards of society. During peaceful periods, samurai often became involved in local governance. They acted as magistrates, mediators in disputes, and enforcers of local laws. This dual role, as both warriors and administrators, strengthened their position in feudal Japan, turning them into a multifaceted class of leaders. It was this blend of martial prowess and intellectual pursuit that helped shape the samurai's unique identity. And now, imagine standing atop the walls of a samurai castle, overlooking the vast countryside. In the distance you see fields of rice, carefully tended by farmers. The castle itself is a marvel of architecture, with its thick wooden gates, stone foundations, and elegant curved roofs designed to deflect arrows. Castles were not only military fortresses, but also centers of governance and culture. These strongholds, built strategically across Japan, were symbols of a daimyo's power. They served not only as a warrior's home, but also as a community center where festivals, markets, and gatherings took place. Within the castle walls, samurai families lived, trained, and governed their territories, creating a microcosm of feudal Japanese society. Throughout history, many famous samurai have walked these lands. Minamoto no Yoshitsune, known for his brilliant tactics and tragic end, remains one of the most celebrated figures in Japanese history. His campaigns and battles became the stuff of legend, inspiring countless tales, poems, and plays. Another legendary figure is Miyamoto Musashi, a master swordsman and strategist who authored the Book of Five Rings, a treatise on martial arts and strategy that is still studied today. Musashi's life epitomized the ideal of the wandering samurai. Born into a turbulent era, he honed his skills through countless duels and battles. His undefeated record and philosophical insights into the art of war made him a revered figure not only in Japan but also around the world. The role of the samurai extended beyond warfare. They often served as administrators, judges, and scholars. Samurai women, known as onabugeisha, also played significant roles in defending their homes and managing estates. Though less frequently depicted in popular culture, these women were trained in the use of weapons such as the naginata and contributed to the legacy of the samurai. With the Meiji Restoration in the late 19th century, Japan underwent rapid modernization. The samurai class, once the pinnacle of society, was officially abolished. Their privileges were revoked, and many former samurai transitioned into new roles as bureaucrats, military officers, and industrialists. Although the era of the samurai came to an end, their values and cultural contributions left a lasting impact on Japanese identity. Today, the legacy of the samurai lives on in Japan's martial arts, literature, and national ethos. Their emphasis on discipline, honor, and duty continues to inspire modern Japanese society. Visitors to Japan can still see remnants of this storied past in preserved castles, ancient battlefields, and museums dedicated to the samurai way of life. And so, dear listener, as you lie there breathing softly, imagine that you too are a part of this ancient world, a world of quiet honor, serene reflection, and peaceful strength. Allow your mind to drift now as the story fades into the quiet. Let go of any tension and feel yourself relax completely. Good night.